What's up guys, Jerry from TSR here. Today we are going to be doing a what is on my iPhone 5S video. This of course is the 5S in space gray. It is a 32 gigabyte model on the AT&T network. So right here, as you see, this is the stock home page. I'm not going to bore you guys too much with this. The only thing I have on here really it's not stock is just Google Maps. That's just because I prefer Google as opposed to anything stock when it comes to Apple. The weather, I'm actually getting used to. I'm kind of understanding a little better because it's by Yahoo. I was so accustomed to the Weather Channel, and then I just decided, let me just use stock more, and I'm used to it now. It's actually really nice. Reminder I use on a daily basis just for college and remembering assignments and stuff like that. And then I have App Store and iTunes just to shop for new stuff to add to my phone. Now this page here is where everything goes down. This is the page where I go to the most. Every app I use mostly on a daily basis is here. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this folder right up top here. So as you see, this is the everyday folder, as I called it, because these are the apps I use every day on a daily basis. These are literally the first things I'll go into when I wake up in the morning sometimes. Starbucks being the first, just because when I'm waking up in the morning, once I get off the train to go into the city, I'll stop at the Starbucks either at the station if it's not too crowded, or I'll just go to the one down the street and grab my morning coffee. Citizens Bank, which is my primary bank, MBTA, which is how I get on the train and commute to and from school from here in Framingham out to Boston. Keyring is an app I have just to keep like all of my the like rewards cards and stuff like that. So you see, there's really not that much going on here. I really don't even use this that much because I have the ones I use the most I keep in the Passbook app, but still. Facebook, I have, this is my personal Facebook account. I don't have a Facebook page yet for the channel. I've actually been thinking about getting one, setting up one for the channel, but this is my primary. This is my own personal page, so now you know. If you want to add me as a friend, go ahead. I don't bite. Just joking with you guys. Twitter I use a lot more than I do Facebook, actually, because I have the accounts linked, so that's actually a good thing. So as you see here, this is the official Twitter page, TechSpec Review 1. So if you guys want to follow me right there on Twitter. And like I always say in every one of my videos, anytime I post a video or a channel update, if it's not going to be on YouTube itself, it will be here on my Twitter page. So let me go ahead and close that out. Now the last app in this folder is Instagram. Now this is my own personal Instagram. I don't have an Instagram account for the channel. I kind of fluctuate back and forth between all of them. So, but as you see here, same with Facebook. This is my personal account. I just take a lot of pictures and stuff. You're just see a lot of cool things in here. Actually, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at JerryMartinez1. I do post a lot of funny things in a couple of videos, like this one right here, for example. That just goes to show you how big of a Walking Dead fan I am. Actually, this will probably back that up a little more. Sundays are Walking Dead day. Fuck everything else on TV. I'm just saying, that's what happens when Sunday rolls around, guys. That's all I'm going to say. The next folder here, the next folder is called Lifestyle. I've named it Lifestyle. Just I wouldn't call it Lifestyle. I probably would call it my second everyday folder, but it's just, I was rearranging and then this popped up a name automatically. I just said, I'll use it, so why not? YouTube I use heavily. I probably should move YouTube to every day, but I'd just rather keep it in here and balance everything out myself. eBay I use when I'm just looking to shop for stuff. Personally, me, I like thrift shops. Like when I'm going shopping for clothes, sometimes I'll admit I'm more of a hipster. I prefer like thrift shops because just look at Macklemore, for example. That's the best way I can put it. But eBay, normally I use eBay only if I'm looking for something completely left field or something ridiculous and out of the norm. Amazon I have, because we all love Amazon. And if you're someone like me who has Amazon Prime, free 2-day shipping with a special discount, it's well worth the penny. But I'm on a student version of Amazon Prime, so I'll upgrade to full on. And I believe in June of this year I upgrade to Prime fully for $39. That's when my student trial ends. But Amazon I like just because of the deals and the fast free 2-day shipping from Prime. Domino's in case I'm hungry and I want to order a pizza of some sort. Dunkin' Donuts just in case it's stuck. I'm a New Englander at heart. As much as I love Starbucks, I'm always going to be a New Englander at heart. Dunkin' Donuts will be first. That was technically the first coffee I started drinking. McDonald's for lunch normally, because when I leave class and I go to the train station to go home, normally They just put up a new McDonald's there. They actually just renovated it, I should say. They renovated it, and they now accept offers from the app. So when I leave school and go to the station, wait for the train, I can always grab lunch or grab a bite to eat and maybe save a couple dollars with that app. The Holy Bible I keep in here just in case if I have one of those stressful days, because I am a college student and I do work in retail. So if I ever have one of those days where I just need to have a come to Jesus meeting moment, I can just flip this open, read a page, or just look up one of the random texts and it'll kind of motivate me. Find my iPhone, just in case if I lose the phone and I need to find out where it is. iMovie, which is how I do most of my video editing. I don't use Final Cut Pro. I don't have the money for Final Cut Pro. My old laptop, which is crappy, beat up, and run-of-the-mill, can barely hold it anymore. Anything nowadays, since I use my tablet and my phone more. But iMovie is how I do most of my videos primarily. I edit through there. So now we're going to go ahead and start this stuff down here. So as you see, we got first for music, I use Pandora mostly. They just got a nice update actually. So Pandora, it's actually a little better now. I wasn't using it as much before, but they gave it a nice little update. Spotify I use primarily for when I'm studying or in the computer lab doing assignments. It just helps me focus a little bit more. Beats Music. It's Beats Music. It's just brand new. It just came out a few months ago. Now they're asking for, it's $9.99 a month, which is pricey and kind of obscure and ridiculous. I can't justify that. You still get access to the sentence, which is pretty useful from time to time, but still, $9.99 a month, that's kind of, over the top in my opinion, ridiculously. SoundCloud I use just in case if I want to browse around and look for some nice song that's playing in the background of my videos normally, or if I'm just looking for a nice instrumental hip-hop beat. Podcast, I listen to podcasts heavily. Let me just say for the record, for me personally, anyone that travels a lot, you definitely should listen to podcasts. They help kill time. If you're someone that drives, it doesn't kill you to put a podcast on in the car. It might make your drive a little smoother. For me, taking the train ride or a bus or a cab, it makes the ride a little more fun. It kind of takes my mind off a lot of things. For the podcast that I listen to here, probably the first one is going to be this one, IGN Unlocked, the podcast Unlocked. This one is primarily for Xbox. They don't really talk much about other systems. It's primarily all Microsoft and Xbox. They have an opening from Steve Downes, who is the voice of Master Chief. CNET, how I keep up with my tech news if I can't read through Flipboard or the CNET app on my tablet. The Jim Ross Report. Aside from tech and video games, you guys probably don't know this, but aside from all those and Transformers, I'm also a big nut for pro wrestling. I don't get to watch it as much, so I listen to podcasts or I read some of the dirt sheets, and I actually do follow it. I do understand some of the terms like rib and the backstage stuff and politicians, etc. But the Jim Ross Report, Jim Ross is one of the greatest commentators of all time. I swear that I will take that to my grave, and I mean it. The Steve Austin Show Unleashed is one of Steve Austin's 2 podcasts. The Unleashed one is a more explicit podcast where he's cursing and cussing, and it's really awesome because it's Steve Austin cussing, which is awesome. The Nerdist podcast is by Chris Hardwick, who hosts Talking Dead. I think we all know who Chris Hardwick is, and we all know The Talking Dead is the recap show to The Walking Dead. If you don't, I don't know what rock you've been living under. Talk is Jericho is another podcast I listen to. Chris Jericho is another pro wrestler who has his own podcast. It's actually pretty good. Jericho is a really good talker. Not gonna lie, out of everyone that's been doing podcasts as far as wrestlers, Chris Jericho is probably one of the best so far, but I still say Jim Ross is the best, even though his is brand new still. I still say his is the best. The Solomonster Sounds Off podcast is this was the very first podcast I started listening to. This was the first podcast that got me into podcasts. I've been listening to it since, I believe, early 2010 is when I started listening to this, and this is the best podcast I listen to when it comes to wrestling. To keep up to date with what's going on from WWE to Ring of Honor, TNA, Chikara, New Japan Pro Wrestling, etc. He mostly just covers the U.S. stuff, but it's a good way to stay up to date with what's going on in the world of wrestling. The Steve Austin Show. Now, this is the first of his 2 shows, the Steve Austin Show. This is where he interviews pro wrestlers and a couple of people that are good friends of his. And one thing about Steve Austin Show and the Steve Austin Show Unleashed, he has this awesome tagline or catchphrase called, well, in this case, I'm going to quote it right here. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm going to swing an iced coffee for the working man. He normally says swing a Red Bull or swing a sip of water for the working man, but it's actually a funny catchphrase. The Joe Rogan Experience podcast is one of my personal favorites because it's Joe Rogan, UFC commentator, and he talks about a lot of good health tips and a lot of nutrient stuff. He's very big with those things, and it's actually I'm actually taking a lot of tips. I've been taking a lot more multivitamins. I've been trying a lot of the things that he recommends. Not all of them, but some, but the benefits and the results are actually very good. The Apple Bite is the podcast I use for mostly Apple news by CNET. Brian Tong is a genius. And the last podcast is by Colt Cabana, who is a pro wrestler on the Indies, and he's been doing pretty well for himself, actually, ever since he got let go from WWE in 2006, because Creative said they had nothing for him. Yes, WWE Creative had nothing for a guy who's good with comedy, when half the stuff they put on their show is comedy. I never understand that logic. I really won't. Audible, I think everyone knows what Audible is. If we don't want to read a book, or it's gotten to the point now where we're too lazy to read a book, so we just open the Audible app. And essentially what this is, it is an audiobook, so you can have an audiobook read to you sometimes by a celebrity or by the author himself. So as you see here, I've got Max Brooks' The Zombie Survival Guide, Halo, The Fall of Reach, and the Steve Jobs autobiography. Evernote is an app I use consistently when I'm taking notes, or if I'm in the school, if I'm in at college, if I'm just taking notes, like as you see here, the criminal justice system. I am a major in criminal justice, so I did recently get a chance to sit down, take some notes, and I use this because this helped me actually with a test I scored an A on. And this one here, Arkham Knight, I'm just going to give this a quick rundown here. For those of you guys that don't know, Arkham Knight is another Batman game that's coming out. I'm actually going to do a video about this. I will. Probably by Friday or Saturday, I think I'll do a video for this one. So I'm just going to cover some notes about this and my thoughts on it. I'll get back into that when that video comes up. Keep an eye out for that video. Probably by Friday or Saturday in the afternoon, I'll have that video up. AT&T, so I can pay my bill. Best Buy, just because it's Best Buy. Place to go to get tech, even if it's a little overpricey, and they still say they're going out of business, yet they've been saying that for the last 7 years. PayPal, just to keep up with my finances and stuff that I sell on eBay, and whatever money comes my way from wherever. UPS Mobile, just to track and track all the shipments that I send out normally. Sometimes I'm mailing out stuff for taxes or bills. Purchases I make from eBay, I get a tracking number. I can track it with this primarily. QR code reader. We've all seen these things, whether they be on the cup at McDonald's or on a flyer or on one of the billboards at the train station. I use this just in case if there's one that has a good deal or something that piques my interest. I'll just scan the code, save it, and read it later. Red laser for when I'm shopping for something I want. See if I can find it cheaper somewhere else or at another store, and see if the store that I'm in will do a price match. Netflix, just to kill time, because I like watching movies that are classics. Trailers I use when there's to see if there's any good movies coming out mostly. And if there's a good movie I see, if the trailer's awesome, I will then proceed to go into Fandango and purchase a ticket and then go see that movie. Redbox. It's Redbox. Flip through it, select a movie, go to the kiosk, pick it up, or you can even reserve it straight from the app and then go pick it up. So before we get into this next page right here, just give me a second. Swing a nice coffee for the working man. That's going to get addictive now saying that. So on this last page here, as you see, this is mostly like my games and my school. So starting from the top here, we've got GameStop, just because I have a pro member card, because I get all the Game Informer magazines. IGN, just how I keep up with gaming news. Machinima, another way to keep up with gaming news. And the show that they have, IGN Daily, Inside Gaming Daily. Adam Kovic and Bruce Green are freaking comedic geniuses. Shut up, hippie! Sorry, my neighbor. Sports Center, just how to keep up with sports. So if I don't have time to watch a Celtics, Red Sox, Bruins, or a Pats game, this will give me play-by-play details, and I'll just view it from there and stay up to date with the game. The WWE app, pretty sure everyone has this app. If you don't, just go on YouTube and type in Michael Cole WWE app. They'll tell you how to download it. I won't do that here. For those of you guys that don't know, I'm pretty sure everyone knows, they recently just launched the WWE Network. So the way this app works, it is $9.99 a month for the 6-month commitment, and you get access to this WWE network. And what this does here, it's essentially like Netflix and Hulu Plus. I'll log in another time. I'll show you this in a separate video, but you get access to like all shows, Raw, SmackDown. They're adding more right now. It is still in like launch mode. There's still a lot to be added, so I'll do a video covering that at another time. 7 News, which is our local news here in Massachusetts, probably the best right now aside from Fox and CNN. Going into my games now, Mega Man X, which is my childhood, Shadowgun, which is a copy of Gears of War just on the iOS platform, a complete Gears of War rip actually, Call of Duty Ghosts, which is how I keep up with my score and stats and my kills for my multiplayer, Chill Guy 26, all caps, no space, is my Xbox Live gamer tag. Feel free to add me and get sniped. And what makes this iPhone very special is that it's probably one of very few million, if not thousands, or thousands of millions, that still have Flappy Bird. And my score is 20 right now, so don't judge me. I'm still trying to beat that. Before it was 2 I was trying to beat. Going into my school, this is the last closing part of my video here. So homework, my homework, which is essentially a mobile planner. I keep track of all of my homework assignments here, as you see. This is mostly for my nutrition class. I still have to add my communications and English and criminal justice stuff there, but that's mostly how I keep up to date with my assignments. I really don't carry a physical planner anymore. I just plug everything in here and then I get a notification that will pop up when an assignment's coming up. Gmail for my college email and for my personal email I use here for my channel, techspecreview@gmail.com. And then this also has my school email. Google Now, or Google Search. I only have this one because as much as I use Safari, I use this probably more. I use this mostly for school, but because I only use it because of the Google Now feature. You just say, okay, Google, and it'll search, you speak what you want, and it'll search it for you. This gives me a lot better results, but most of the time I end up using Safari. This is probably just for school purposes. Blackboard Mobile Learn, I can get all of my classes straight from my smartphone, submit assignments through here and be done. Dropbox, which is a great way and a lifesaver for sending files. OneDrive is another way for me to save files, Microsoft Word documents or PowerPoints. And then the last app here is Office Mobile, which grants me access to my Microsoft Word and all that stuff. So overall, guys, that's been what's on my iPhone 5S video. Also down here you see I have the phone, mail, Safari, and music. That's just my stock. That's what I use almost every day also virtually. But overall, guys, that's what's been on my iPhone 5S. If you want to know more about any of the apps I showed in here, leave a comment down below. I will do a video on the WWE Network, a full-on, and then I will be doing a video covering the Arkham Knight video game. So until then, guys, keep it locked on my channel for more videos. Follow me on Twitter at TechSpecReview1. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, favorite it, and until then, I will see you later. Peace.